Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montevilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Janome Skyline S7. In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction to the machine. To start off, we have where you plug in your cords right over here. Then we have the on-off switch. We have the lever for raising and lowering the feed dogs. Here we have a differential feed adjustment, and this is for when you are using your dual feed system. So you've got feed dogs on the top and the bottom, and that would adjust that pull of the top feed dogs. Over here we have a USB port, and that's for doing like stitch creating. And then we have the jack for an auxiliary thread cutter switch that you can purchase separately. It attaches to your foot control, and that way you can cut your threads with your tap of your foot. Over here we have the hand wheel, and the hand wheel turns towards you, so if you hand walk stitches you would turn this counterclockwise towards you. Over here we have the handle, nice big handle to carry the machine, and here is the lid with the stitch chart, and it's very informative which stitches are in which groups here, and as well as lettering. Inside here we have the spindle for winding your bobbin and the stopper for that. Here we have the thread cutter, and that's for cutting the thread once you're done winding your bobbin. Here we have the spool pin, and happens to have a spool of thread on it right now. This is the stylus, and this is one of the accessories and what you would use with your touch screen. Then we have thread path. We have the take up lever right over here. Here's a door that you can open, and this is nice for cleaning, or if you're unfamiliar with the threading of the machine, it does give you more of a visual on threading. But it's not necessary to have it open all the time for threading once you get it. And then you can put an auxiliary magnifier right here, and that's where that would attach. Also something you could purchase separately, but it swings right over here, so you can get more magnification in the sewing area. It's really handy to have. You have a thread cutter right over here, so when you're done sewing you can just cut your thread right there. And then in back you have your presser lifter, and you can lift it extra high if you need to for those thick fabrics, the fabrics that are like fleece or foam or whatever like that. And then back here we have the lever for sewing buttonholes. This is the switch that tells the machine when to stop and do the end of the buttonhole and when to do the other side. And that's what that's for. It stores right up there like that. This is the needle threader. Really makes threading the needle very easy. And then you pull off your accessory tray, and the accessory tray, you also can use a larger table like there instead of the accessory tray. Now this is your free arm. It's really nice to have if you are doing jeans or the hem of pants or something can fit the pant leg right around there. Really nice that way. Now over here is the needle, of course, and the foot holder. Now there's a little switch on the back, makes changing that foot really easily. Right here we have the feed dogs and the bobbin area. Then down here is a switch that push that, and it lifts off the needle plate. Really nice. Don't have to worry about screws, just lift that right off. And that's where you would take this apart for cleaning. In here is the bobbin case, right, like that, and that's the area where your thread cutter is. Okay, and we put this back on like that, and it gives us a little message over here just to make sure that we've got the correct needle plate and the correct foot on there. So I'll just get out of there like that. And you can put the foot back on right like that. Okay. Then over here we have the start-stop button. Now the start-stop only works if you have your foot control disconnected, but that way you can just start and stop by pressing a button rather than pressing on the foot control if you should choose to do that. Here's your reverse button. Here's your locking stitch button. The difference between these two is the reverse just stitches in reverse as long as you push on that, and the locking stitch makes a little knot on the back of your fabric. Needle up, needle down. This is your presser foot lifter. So if I push this, presser foot goes down, push it again, presser foot goes up. This is our cutter button, so if you push this button, it cuts your thread and pulls the thread tails to the back, leaving them about a ½ inch long. This is the speed slider. Now what this does is it governs the maximum speed that you can sew. So if you're doing something that's very intricate and you need to be very careful not to sew too quickly, then move this down. I like to have this about halfway when I'm doing free motion quilting. If you're teaching a child to sew on this machine, I would put it all the way down here, and that way it will sew very slowly, no matter how fast, how much they're pressing on the foot control. And then of course you can have it all the way up to the maximum. Over here we have the touch screen. Now the touch screen, you can touch it, do different things like that with the stylus. And the touch screen, I'm going to get into more when we get into basic operations, how to use this. But just know, this is the touch screen. You use the stylus with that, the memory, setting, lockout. The lockout key is also another good thing to have if you are teaching a child to sew, because this makes it so that if they press on the foot control, nothing's going to happen. As long as that's there, unlock it, there you go. And then this just helps page through the different pages that are on the screen. So that's the basic overview. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show you. This here is the socket for the knee lifter. Now what this does is, and I'll get into this when we get into the accessories, but this is a lever that you would press with your knee, pressing to the right, and it lifts up the presser foot. Really nice if you're doing a lot of pivoting or turning, or you just want to have your hands right here, hands and eyes right here, and you can lift up your presser foot using the knee lifter. So that's the basic overview of the Skyline S7. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. We have lots of other videos here on our YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.